Okay, so when you actually log into your exit slip, this is what it's going to look like. So starts off with subject and author persona, the audience and purpose, just like I showed you guys in the PowerPoint. And then down here, we're going to have some reteach questions. So I'm going to very quickly kind of go over this. So what subject is the speaker discussing? We're talking about a woman who's going to a home auction. She's talking about buying a soup tureen that belonged to her neighbor, running into her neighbor, and then thinking about how did that affect her? How is what's happening in the neighborhood affecting her? So I'm not going to go back over these questions, but I want you thinking about the story. You should have read it twice at this point, but think about the story when you're answering each of these questions. Okay, so after reviewing the exam, these were the questions that everyone had the most trouble answering correctly. So due to this, we are going to use a more recent story and try again, aka the story that you just read for this assignment. The standards that we had the most trouble with are listed on the left. The question stems, meaning these parts right here, these are all the questions that were actually in the test that you collectively got the most wrong. So, in order to get credit, you are going to complete these 4 questions. So, number 1, in picking through the ruins of your dying neighborhood, why does Cooper, that's our author, feel ashamed? You're going to choose 3 options. If you do not choose 3, you automatically get this question wrong. So, do process of elimination. Which ones are the most strong for answering this question? Why does she feel ashamed? Okay, so you're picking 3. For this one, you're going to read the quote and then you're going to answer which answer best explains the meaning of the sentence. In 6 months a year, there will be no survivors left on our block. So, you need to look at these questions and figure out which one best explains this part right here. Which answer best explains the meaning of this sentence? So you're not looking at this as a whole, you're looking at this particular sentence. Which one of these answers best supports that? Okay? For number 3 has 2 parts, so you're going to answer both. Part A, what does Cooper learn about humility and shame from her experience of going to her neighbor's home auction? Here's the thing. So I want you to look at words here. So shame and humility. Now, sometimes you want to look for words that are similar down here. So like we have humiliated here. We have humility. We have shame. But sometimes we don't, those aren't going to fully answer the question. So I want you thinking about which one of these 4 fully answers the question that's asked here. The same thing with down here. So part B is where we have to find the evidence that supports whatever answer you chose up here. Okay? So figure out which one best supports the answer and which evidence best supports your answer here. And then finally, for the last one, which of the following sentences has a tense or foreboding tone? So tense just means kind of like on your edge. Foreboding is kind of like when you're watching a horror movie and you know Pennywise is about to jump out at you, but the character doesn't know it and you still haven't seen it. That's a foreboding tone. So you know something's going to happen. You know it's like right there, but it's not quite there yet. So it's either very tense or foreboding. So which one of these answers best shows that tone? All right. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you on Friday.